When someone who once loved you begins to ignore you, it can feel confusing and painful. The natural response is often to look outward for answers, to wonder why they've suddenly pulled away, or to blame them for the change in behavior. But instead of focusing on the outward situation, it is important to turn inward and reflect on your own beliefs and assumptions. The way others treat you is a direct reflection of how you view yourself and the world around you. If you are experiencing rejection or neglect, it's likely that some of your inner beliefs are creating that experience. These beliefs might be about your worth, your ability to be loved, or your fear of abandonment. The first step in transforming this situation is understanding that the world is a mirror, and what you see is often a reflection of your own inner state. At the core of changing any experience is the power of imagination. When you find yourself in a situation where someone is pulling away or ignoring you, the tendency is to dwell on the absence of love or affection. However, the key to transformation lies in focusing on the feeling of love as if it is already present. Rather than focusing on the fact that the person is ignoring you, shift your attention to how you would feel if you were loved, cherished, and fully appreciated. Begin to live in the feeling of being loved, seeing yourself as someone worthy of deep affection. Visualize the person treating you with care and respect, and imagine the joy and warmth that would come from such an interaction. Your imagination is not just a passive tool. It is the means through which you can shape your reality. By vividly imagining the love you desire, you are creating it in your mind, which will eventually begin to manifest in your life. When someone pulls away, the instinct is often to chase them, to try harder, to beg for attention or affection. However, this approach typically comes from a place of lack, of not feeling good enough or afraid of losing someone. Desperation rarely leads to positive outcomes in relationships. Instead, it reinforces the belief that you are not worthy of love or that love must be earned through external validation. The key is to detach from the need for external validation. The more you chase someone's attention, the more you reinforce the idea that you do not have the love you want. Instead, focus on your own worth and the idea that you deserve love, not because of any action you must take to earn it, but simply because you are worthy. This shift in focus allows you to let go of the desperation and trust that love will come to you naturally when you align with the energy of love. Rejection or a lack of attention is never the end. It may feel like a loss in the moment, but it is important to understand that rejection is often just a reflection of your current state of mind or self-concept. If you are struggling with feelings of inadequacy, fear, or low self-worth, these feelings will be mirrored in your relationships. When someone pulls away, it is a chance to reassess your beliefs about yourself. Instead of feeling defeated, see this as an opportunity to change your inner dialogue, to shift your perspective on who you are and what you deserve. The situation may appear as rejection, but it is only a reflection of your present state, which you have the power to change. When you begin to align with the idea that you are worthy of love and affection, you will begin to see those changes reflected back to you. At the heart of all relationships is the concept of self-love. Before you can attract the love you desire from others, you must first learn to love and value yourself. This is not about being perfect or waiting for someone to complete you, but about embracing who you are, flaws and all, and recognizing your inherent worth. If you expect others to love you, but you do not love yourself, you are sending mixed signals to the universe. Self-love is the foundation upon which all healthy relationships are built. When you love yourself fully, you naturally attract love from others because you radiate confidence and positive energy. When you do not value yourself, you may subconsciously attract people who do not value you either. Your outer world is always a reflection of your inner state, so it's essential to nurture self-love if you want to see positive changes in your relationships. The power to change any situation, especially in relationships, lies within you. The way others treat you is directly connected to your own thoughts and beliefs. If you are experiencing pain, rejection, or neglect, take responsibility for your inner state and work on transforming your self-concept. Start by imagining yourself as loved, valued, and cherished. Believe that you deserve the best and feel that love already within you. When you align with this inner truth, the world around you will begin to change. The person who is ignoring you may begin to see you in a new light, or new opportunities for love and connection may present themselves. Whatever the case, remember that you have the power to shift your reality by changing your inner beliefs and assumptions. Your thoughts are not just fleeting ideas, they are the building blocks of your world. When you transform your thoughts, you transform your life. When someone who once deeply cared for you suddenly begins to ignore you, it can be an emotionally overwhelming experience. The natural impulse is to question what went wrong, wondering if you did something to deserve this shift in their behavior. The tendency is to focus on the external circumstances, but the reality is that what happens in the outer world is often a reflection of what is happening within. It's easy to assume that their actions are the cause of your emotional pain, but the true power lies in the way you respond to these circumstances and how you can shift your internal world to influence your external reality. The first step in addressing this situation is to recognize that your emotional responses, feelings, and assumptions about the relationship are the key drivers of your experience. How you perceive yourself, how you perceive the other person, and what you believe about love and relationships all play a significant role in shaping the reality you experience. If you have a belief that you are unworthy of love, that you can be abandoned, or that love is conditional, these internal beliefs will begin to be reflected in your outer world. When you encounter behavior like ignoring or withdrawing affection, it can trigger these deep-seated fears and reinforce them. But that doesn't mean they are the truth. It simply means that these beliefs are playing out in your experience. The truth is, you have the power to change the way you experience these situations. It begins with the recognition that everything in life is an extension of your inner world. If someone's behavior is causing you pain, it is important to examine the beliefs and assumptions you hold about yourself, love, and relationships. Do you believe that love must be earned? Do you feel that you are not worthy of affection unless you meet certain conditions? These are beliefs that can shape your experience and can make you feel helpless when someone pulls away or ignores you. Instead of focusing on the external actions of the other person, consider shifting your focus inward. Ask yourself what you truly believe about yourself and about your worthiness to receive love. What assumptions are you carrying that may be influencing the situation? Perhaps it's time to challenge these beliefs and replace them with more empowering ones. The power to change any situation lies in your ability to shift your own mindset and to consciously decide what you want to believe about yourself and your relationships. The next step is to understand that emotional attachment and desperation often come from a place of fear. When someone withdraws or ignores you, the instinct may be to chase them, to try to fix the situation by getting their attention. However, chasing after someone only reinforces the belief that you need their validation in order to feel worthy. This can create a cycle of longing, pain, and frustration, which only pushes the person further away. The more you chase, the more you signal that you do not feel complete or whole without their attention. Instead of focusing on the other person, shift your energy inward. Focus on your own worth and on the love that already exists within you. You do not need anyone's approval to feel valued and loved. The love you seek from others must first come from within. When you begin to nurture this self-love, you create an energetic shift that will begin to manifest in your external world. Others will begin to see you differently, and the dynamic between you and the person who is ignoring you may shift as well. When you are in a situation where someone is withdrawing from you, it's important not to take their behavior personally. Their actions are often more about them than about you. People's behaviors are driven by their own internal states, their fears, insecurities, and assumptions about relationships. Just as your emotional responses are shaped by your inner world, the way others treat you is influenced by their own beliefs and experiences. If they are ignoring you, it may be a reflection of their own internal conflicts or fears, not a reflection of your worth or the state of the relationship. Instead of interpreting their actions as rejection, see it as an opportunity to examine your own beliefs and to redirect your focus toward healing your own emotional state. Additionally, emotional resilience comes from within. While external circumstances may be challenging, your ability to maintain inner peace and emotional balance is key. When you are able to detach from the need for external validation and find peace within yourself, you will naturally begin to feel more secure and confident. This emotional stability will make it easier to navigate the ups and downs of relationships without becoming overly affected by someone's withdrawal. Your ability to remain calm and centered, regardless of the external situation, is a powerful tool for attracting the love and respect you desire. When you shift your focus from the external circumstances to your own inner state, you will begin to notice a change in your interactions and relationships. People will respond to you differently, and the dynamics in your relationships will start to evolve. The key is to realize that you are not a passive recipient of life's circumstances. You are the creator of your experiences. Your thoughts, beliefs, and emotional state are the blueprint for everything that happens in your life, including the way others treat you. The truth is that love is not something that can be forced or earned from the outside. It is an energy that you cultivate from within. By changing your inner beliefs about yourself, your worth, and your right to love, you begin to shift the energy around you. The relationships become a reflection of the love and self-worth you already hold within. When you nurture yourself emotionally and mentally, you create an energetic shift that transforms the way others respond to you. If someone is withdrawing or ignoring you, take it as an opportunity to shift your focus inward, heal any limiting beliefs, and realign with the love and self-worth that already exists within you. In doing so, you will naturally begin to attract the love and respect you desire. When someone who once expressed love and affection towards you suddenly begins to ignore you, it can be a deeply unsettling experience. The natural instinct is to seek answers, to find out why this shift has occurred, and to try and fix the situation. This emotional response often leads to feelings of insecurity, anxiety, and desperation. The desire to repair the relationship, to regain the attention and love you once felt, can become overwhelming. However, it is important to understand that these feelings of desperation often only perpetuate the problem, making the situation more difficult rather than improving it. Desperation in relationships typically arises from a belief that you need the other person's attention, affection, or approval in order to feel complete or worthy. When someone withdraws or ignores you, the fear of losing their love and affection can trigger feelings of inadequacy, making you feel as though you are not enough or that something is wrong with you. This belief in lack can fuel the urge to chase after them, to try harder to gain their attention, or to do whatever it takes to win back their affection. However, it is crucial to recognize that this desperation is rooted in fear and a lack of self-worth, not in the reality of the situation. The first step in detaching from desperation is to recognize that your value and worth are not dependent on the approval or affection of another person. It is easy to forget this when someone you care about pulls away. But your worthiness is not determined by how others treat you. You are inherently valuable, and the love you seek from others must first come from within. Desperation arises from the belief that you are not whole on your own, that you need someone else to complete you. This belief leads to an unhealthy attachment to the other person's behavior, causing you to rely on their attention and validation to feel good about yourself. By shifting your focus inward, you can begin to detach from this need for external validation and develop a healthier sense of self-worth. One way to detach from desperation is to practice self-care and self-love. When you feel ignored or rejected, it is easy to fall into self-pity and negative self-talk. However, these emotions only reinforce the feeling of lack and reinforce the belief that you are not good enough. Instead, focus on taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally. Engage in activities that nurture your well-being and remind yourself of your inherent value. Surround yourself with positive influences, whether that's friends, family, or hobbies that make you feel good about yourself. When you make self-care a priority, you begin to cultivate a sense of inner security that is not reliant on the actions of others. In addition to self-care, it is essential to shift your perspective on the situation. When someone pulls away or ignores you, it is easy to take it personally and assume that their behavior is a reflection of something negative about you. However, it is important to remember that other people's actions are often more about them than about you. Their behavior may be influenced by their own internal struggles, insecurities, or personal issues. When you detach from desperation, you allow yourself the space to view the situation objectively and not internalize it as a reflection of your worth. It is possible that their withdrawal has nothing to do with you at all, and recognizing this can help you release the emotional grip of desperation. Another way to detach from desperation is to change the way you view the relationship. Often when we feel desperate to maintain a relationship, we cling to the idea of it in a way that causes us to overlook the reality of the situation. Instead of focusing on the fear of losing the relationship or the desire to get the person's attention, shift your focus to what you truly want in the relationship. Ask yourself, what is it that I truly need in a relationship? What kind of connection do I want? By shifting the focus from a fear of loss to a desire for healthy mutual connection, you can begin to attract the type of relationship that aligns with your true needs. This shift in perspective takes the power out of desperation and gives you the opportunity to create a more fulfilling connection, either with the same person or with someone else who can meet your emotional needs. It is also important to recognize that detaching from desperation does not mean giving up on the relationship or resigning yourself to the belief that it will never improve. Rather, it is about releasing the emotional attachment to the outcome and allowing things to unfold naturally. When you let go of the need to control the situation, you create space for a more genuine connection to develop. If the person is meant to return or if the relationship is meant to evolve, it will happen in its own time. By detaching from desperation, you stop trying to force a particular outcome and instead allow life to guide you toward what is best for you. Lastly, understand that detachment is not about shutting down emotionally or building walls around your heart. It is about freeing yourself from the need for constant validation and approval from others. When you let go of desperation, you open yourself up to receiving love in a way that is healthy, balanced, and fulfilling. You no longer feel dependent on others to validate your worth, and instead you recognize that love and connection are something that comes from within. When you reach this level of emotional maturity, you become more attractive to others, as they are drawn to your inner peace and self-confidence. In summary, detaching from desperation requires a shift in focus from relying on external validation to cultivating self-worth, from fear of loss to an open, healthy approach to relationships. When you detach from desperation, you not only release the emotional hold that someone else's actions have over you, but you also create the space to attract more meaningful and fulfilling relationships. Rejection can feel like the end of something precious, especially when it involves someone you care about deeply. It's easy to internalize rejection, seeing it as a personal failure or a sign that you are not worthy of love, attention, or affection. In these moments, it's natural to feel disappointed, confused, or even heartbroken. However, it is essential to understand that rejection is not the end of the road, but rather a moment in your journey that can offer valuable insights and opportunities for growth. When we experience rejection, the first instinct is often to dwell on the negative emotions that come with it: sadness, anger, frustration, or embarrassment. These feelings are completely valid and part of the human experience. However, the key is not to get stuck in these emotions, but to recognize that rejection is not a reflection of your worth as a person. It's important to remember that people's decisions and actions are influenced by their own circumstances, feelings, and experiences, which are often beyond your control. Someone's decision to withdraw or ignore you is not necessarily a reflection of who you are or how deserving you are of love. It is simply a reflection of where they are in their life at that moment. Their decision may have more to do with their personal struggles, emotional state, or the dynamics of the relationship than it does with your character or value. Rather than seeing rejection as a rejection of yourself, it's helpful to view it as an opportunity for self-reflection. When someone pulls away or stops showing interest, it's an invitation to look inward and assess your own beliefs, expectations, and needs. What do you truly want from the relationship? What kind of connection are you seeking? Are you placing expectations on the other person that they are not able to meet? Are there areas of personal growth or self-love that need attention? Rejection can serve as a mirror that reflects back areas in your life where you may need to make adjustments. It's not about blaming yourself, but about taking responsibility for your own emotional well-being and growth. One of the most empowering realizations in dealing with rejection is recognizing that you have the power to choose how you respond to the situation. Rejection does not define you unless you allow it to. It's important to remember that rejection is not a permanent state, it's simply a temporary situation. Just because one person or one experience didn't work out, it does not mean that all future relationships or opportunities will be the same. Life is full of changes, and sometimes rejection is simply the universe's way of redirecting you towards something better. There are countless other people and experiences out there that align with your values, needs, and desires. Rejection is not a sign that you are unworthy, it is a redirection towards something that is more aligned with your true self. Another way to look at rejection is as a form of protection. While it may not feel like it in the moment, being rejected by someone or something can save you from a situation that might not have been right for you in the long run. It may seem painful at first, but over time you may come to realize that the relationship, job, or opportunity you were hoping for would not have been as fulfilling or supportive as something else that comes your way in the future. Rejection can sometimes be the universe's way of removing something from your life that would not have been in your best interest, allowing you to make space for new, more positive experiences. While it's easy to focus on the hurt caused by rejection, it is important to recognize that this moment is a chance to practice resilience. It is in moments of difficulty and disappointment that we learn how strong we truly are. Every rejection you face is an opportunity to build emotional strength and resilience. It teaches you how to cope with discomfort, manage your emotions, and rise above challenges. Over time, this process of overcoming rejection will make you more confident and emotionally secure. Instead of shrinking or retreating, you will learn how to bounce back and continue moving forward with a sense of purpose and strength. Rejection becomes less of a barrier and more of a stepping stone to greater self-assurance and growth. Additionally, rejection can help you refine your understanding of what you truly want and need in relationships. When you face rejection, it's important to assess your own desires and what you value in a partner, a friend, or a colleague. Use the experience as an opportunity to clarify your boundaries and your expectations. Rejection often teaches us more about ourselves than we realize. It reveals what we truly want, what we're willing to accept, and where we need to grow. It can lead to greater self-awareness and a clearer vision of what a fulfilling relationship or connection looks like for you. Rather than seeing rejection as a failure, try reframing it as a learning experience. When you can shift your perspective, you begin to see rejection as part of a larger process. It is through these moments that you gain deeper clarity, strength, and understanding of yourself and the world around you. With every rejection, you are becoming more resilient, more in tune with your own desires, and more equipped to attract the right people and opportunities into your life. The quest for love often begins with the belief that it must come from external sources. We look to other people for validation, affection, and approval, hoping that someone will come along to make us feel complete. We expect relationships to fill the gaps in our lives, to heal our wounds, and to provide the emotional support we need. However, the truth is that love does not begin with others, it starts within ourselves. Understanding this fundamental principle is key to experiencing lasting and fulfilling love in our relationships, as well as finding peace and happiness in our own lives. At the core of the idea that love starts within is the realization that we cannot fully experience love from others if we do not first cultivate it within ourselves. This is not just about romantic love, but about all forms of love, self-love, compassion, kindness, and acceptance. When we learn to love ourselves, we become more capable of giving and receiving love in a balanced and healthy way. Without this self-love, we may seek love from others to fill the emptiness within us, but this is often a futile effort, as true fulfillment can only come from within. Self-love is the foundation of a healthy relationship, and it starts with self-acceptance. Many people struggle with feelings of inadequacy or unworthiness, believing that they are not deserving of love unless they meet certain conditions, whether those conditions are physical appearance, social status, or accomplishments. However, the truth is that each person is inherently worthy of love, regardless of their perceived flaws or imperfections. To love oneself is to accept oneself fully, to embrace both strengths and weaknesses without judgment. It means recognizing that you are enough as you are, and that your value is not dependent on external factors or the approval of others. When we are able to love ourselves, we stop looking for validation from the outside world. We begin to feel whole and complete, and this sense of inner fulfillment shifts our relationships with others. Instead of seeking love and approval from others in an attempt to feel better about ourselves, we enter relationships with a sense of balance and emotional security. We no longer need to prove our worth to others, because we already know and appreciate our own value. This shift in perspective allows us to form healthier, more authentic connections with others, as we are no longer dependent on them for our emotional well-being. Another key aspect of love starting within is the ability to practice self-compassion. Life is full of challenges, and at times we will face disappointments, failures, or mistakes. In these moments, it's easy to be hard on ourselves, to criticize and condemn ourselves for not being perfect. However, self-compassion involves treating ourselves with the same kindness, understanding, and patience that we would offer to a friend. Instead of beating ourselves up, we acknowledge our imperfections and embrace the lessons they offer. We forgive ourselves for our mistakes and allow ourselves to heal and grow. Self-compassion allows us to maintain a loving relationship with ourselves even in difficult times, and this internal kindness radiates outward, positively impacting our relationships with others. When we love ourselves, we also develop the ability to set healthy boundaries. Part of self-love involves understanding our needs and being able to communicate those needs effectively to others. Setting boundaries is not about pushing others away or being selfish, rather. It is about respecting ourselves and ensuring that we are treated with the care and respect we deserve. By setting clear boundaries, we demonstrate to others that we value ourselves and our well-being. This not only fosters a healthier relationship with ourselves, but also encourages healthier, more respectful relationships with others. When we enter relationships from a place of self-love and healthy boundaries, we are more likely to attract partners who also respect and value us, creating a dynamic that is supportive and nurturing for both parties. Additionally, when love starts within, we become more capable of extending love to others. We cannot truly give love to others if we do not have a deep well of love within ourselves. As we cultivate self-love, we begin to open our hearts to others in a more authentic way. We no longer seek to control, manipulate, or change others to fit our needs. Instead, we approach relationships with empathy, compassion, and understanding. We give love freely without expectation or attachment to a specific outcome. This unconditional love creates a positive and supportive environment where both individuals can grow, thrive, and experience genuine connection. One of the most powerful aspects of love starting within is its ability to transform not only our relationships but also our own lives. When we cultivate self-love, we shift our entire perception of the world around us. We become more confident, more resilient, and more at peace with ourselves. We no longer rely on external sources to validate our worth, but instead we look inward for the love, strength, and guidance we need. This shift in perspective allows us to face life's challenges with a sense of inner peace and confidence, knowing that we have the ability to handle whatever comes our way. Moreover, when we love ourselves, we begin to align with the energy of abundance. Love is not a finite resource, it is a limitless and infinite energy that can be expanded and shared with others. By cultivating love within, we create a wellspring of positive energy that attracts more love into our lives. As we give love to ourselves, we naturally attract more love from others, and we experience greater harmony and connection in our relationships. This abundance of love extends beyond romantic relationships and touches every aspect of our lives, bringing more joy, peace, and fulfillment into our daily experiences. Ultimately, the journey of love starts within, and it is through nurturing self-love that we open ourselves to the love and connection we seek with others. By cultivating self-acceptance, self-compassion, and healthy boundaries, we create the foundation for meaningful, balanced relationships. The more we love ourselves, the more we are able to share that love with others, creating a ripple effect that transforms not only our own lives but also the lives of those around us. When we understand that love begins with us, we unlock the power to create a life filled with authentic connection, joy, and fulfillment. Many people live their lives under the impression that they are at the mercy of external circumstances, believing that their situation, environment, or other people control their outcomes. This mindset often leads to feelings of helplessness, as though the events of life are happening to them rather than through them. However, the truth is that you have the power to change. Change is not something that happens to you from the outside, it is something that you can create from within. By recognizing and embracing this power, you can transform your life in ways that once seemed impossible. One of the most important aspects of understanding that you have the power to change is recognizing that change begins with your mindset. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you consistently think that you are stuck, that things will never improve, or that you have no control over your circumstances, then that will become your truth. The beliefs you hold about yourself and the world around you directly influence your actions, decisions, and ultimately the results you experience. However, by shifting your mindset, you can open the door to a new reality. When you believe that you are capable of change, you begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles, and you become proactive in making decisions that move you toward your desired outcome. Changing your mindset requires a willingness to let go of limiting beliefs. These are the beliefs that hold you back and convince you that you cannot change, that you are not good enough, or that your situation is too difficult to overcome. These beliefs often stem from past experiences, societal conditioning, or the opinions of others. However, they are not the truth, they are simply stories you have accepted as fact. The first step in changing is to challenge these beliefs. Ask yourself, is this belief serving me? Is it true? Is there evidence that contradicts it? When you begin to question the beliefs that limit you, you create the space for new, empowering beliefs to take their place. These new beliefs will serve you, inspire you, and propel you toward the changes you desire. Another key element in recognizing your ability to change is understanding that change is a process, not a one-time event. People often expect change to be immediate or to happen in a linear fashion, but true transformation often requires time, patience, and consistency. It's important to give yourself permission to grow at your own pace. Small, incremental changes are just as powerful as large, sweeping transformations. Every step you take toward change, no matter how small, is progress. By acknowledging and celebrating these small victories, you build momentum that carries you forward. The process of change may not always be easy, but it is always worth it. The power to change also lies in your ability to take responsibility for your life. This means acknowledging that, while you cannot control everything that happens to you, you do have control over how you respond to life's challenges. Taking responsibility is not about blaming yourself for everything that goes wrong, but rather about recognizing that you are the one who has the power to shape your future. When you take responsibility for your actions, your choices, and your mindset, you empower yourself to create a life that reflects your true desires. It's easy to fall into a victim mentality, blaming circumstances, other people, or even luck for your situation, but this only keeps you stuck. Taking responsibility allows you to move beyond your circumstances and take control of your own destiny. In addition to mindset and responsibility, your actions are a crucial part of creating change. While thoughts and beliefs are powerful, they must be backed up by consistent actions. Change requires effort, commitment, and a willingness to step outside of your comfort zone. It is easy to become complacent or to fall into old habits. But real change only happens when you are willing to do things differently. Whether it's taking a new approach to a challenge, learning a new skill, or confronting fears that have held you back, taking action is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. By taking consistent action toward your goals, you demonstrate to yourself that you believe in your ability to change. Even when things don't go according to plan, every effort you make brings you closer to the person you want to become. It's also important to understand that change is not always a smooth path. There will be setbacks, challenges, and moments of doubt. These are not signs of failure, they are simply part of the journey. Each setback is an opportunity to learn and grow, to refine your approach, and to become more resilient. When you encounter obstacles, it is important not to view them as roadblocks, but as stepping stones that help you become stronger and more capable. By developing the ability to persevere through challenges, you prove to yourself that change is possible, no matter the difficulties you face. Embracing challenges as part of the process of change helps you maintain your momentum and stay committed to your growth.